Hi, I'm Joe Paiva, and I'm here with Linda Foster, who is with Esri, but she also has a role in the National Society of Professional Surveyors. Today is April 25th, 2024, and at the end of the day today, she will become the president-elect of the society. So I'll start by saying congratulations on this new title, and I wish you all the best in that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Now, Linda is here to talk about some surveying matters having to do with the awareness that surveyors need to have about the new NatRef 2022 and why this would be a good idea to know more about it.
Yes, thank you. Well, exciting times ahead with the new datums that are right around the corner. Extremely important for us as land surveyors, but also very important for the geospatial community as a whole. So our GIS practitioners, our photogrammetrists, the whole community. So it's a very, very exciting time, very important, and we all tie together. And the new datums will be that tie. And so very exciting to have it updated, to have the high accuracy capability, and have us all really speaking that same language. I think of it as a language, and sometimes people get intimidated and maybe a little bit scared of geodesy and datum talk and those sorts of things. But really it's a language that we can all speak and we can all work together in at a very high accuracy level.
So even if surveyors don't really care about geodesy, I think there's an underlying message that maybe we need to understand a little bit of what goes into play to create things that we do use, such as state plane coordinates. Isn't that right?
That's correct. One of the exciting pieces of this whole massive undertaking by the NGS is the fact that we will now have everything tied together to a common basis, if you will, and that includes state plane coordinate system. And state plane coordinate system really, from an engineering and surveying construction standpoint, the goal is to eliminate as much of that distortion as you possibly can and get rid of those scale factors so that really we're all working with as planar of a system as we possibly can. But it's tied to the new reference system or reference frame. And so moving away from that very specific project-oriented situation and thinking bigger picture about how do all these projects tie together when we need to put them into a geospatial system to do planning, to do operations and maintenance down the road. That's where it really all comes together and is incredibly valuable to the entire geospatial community, because we're putting a lot of investment, a lot of dollars into infrastructure in our country right now. We have a new generation of infrastructure coming, so we have a new opportunity to really leverage the data that we're creating and put it to use into the future. And really, this new datum and reference frame is going to be incredibly valuable for us to achieve that.
Yeah, so my experience from talking with everyday surveyors is that there's a general tendency to shy away. I'm not sure the word is fear, but to shy away from words that begin with geo, such as geocentered, geofixed, geospatial, geoid. So help us feel more comfortable about that word geospatial that you just used and talked about its importance in relating things to each other.
Absolutely. You know, as surveyors, our core job is mapping the world. It's supporting all of those projects and functions and things that we do. And I think sometimes as surveyors, we're very project centric. We're very site centric. We're very localized in how we work and how maybe we've thought of things previously. And so I think it's really just kind of an awareness and doing some work together to realize that we're a part of such a bigger piece, a bigger world, a bigger community, that every little piece and part we do, every little project, every little site design, every little plat plays a part of a much bigger picture community, country, world. And we have the ability to now be very confident and comfortable that that's all working together and tied together. And there's incredible value in doing this and realizing this, and kind of hopefully that will help folks maybe get past some of the fear once they realize the power of what it can do for us, and how when we put all those things together that we're all doing every day and we see, wow, this is amazing what we've accomplished together. I think it will really be revealing. And we didn't have the ability to do this at the beginning of my career, even. It was very difficult to tie it all together with high accuracy, to even tie it all together. Was a much different story than it is now. And now it's not as scary as it used to be, and it's much easier.
So I'm assuming vendors like Esri, and we have many others that serve the surveying profession, I assume they're all hard at work trying to understand what these changes mean for surveyors and integrating it into the software that the surveyors would use. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And I have to applaud the National Geodetic Survey, the NGS, for the amazing job that they have done early on and often in keeping the cadence and the dialogue open with vendors such as Esri and the others to say, this is coming, this is what we're doing, this is what we're working on. And so we've been lockstep all of the way with the NGS. Our teams are working hard to test, incorporate, test some more, and incorporate so that we're all ready and kind of positioned when it's officially released, that it will be ready, and folks that are out in the field should see, hopefully minimal change or disruption. It'll just be more opportunity and more options.
Well, that's a loaded term, new opportunity, because I know from a surveyor's point of view, if I'm going to be dealing with the new NetRef 2022, and the vendors have all done their jobs properly to integrate it in the software, there's still going to be, at the very least, some new terms they'll have to deal with. I mean, for example, one of them would be velocity, but there's a whole bunch of other things I think that need to be understood. Whose responsibility is that? Is that the vendors? Is that the professional societies? Is it the National Geodetic Survey? Where will these everyday surveyors who have a hard time relating when geodesy speak is tossed at them, how do they do this?
That's a great question, and it's going to take everyone. From the user, each of us as individual surveyors, exploring and pushing ourselves to get out of that comfort zone and read those articles that are coming out, attend your conventions at your state level or your local level, because there's people. We all have people. There are amazing minds in this industry, in the geospatial industry. And, it's going to take all of us. It'll take the professional societies, the vendors, it'll take communities, the government agencies are also a part of this and incorporating it into their products and rolling it out. And so it's really going to be a team effort from all around, and it will take time. It will take time for it to be fully adopted and everyone to become more comfortable. But once we do, I think it'll be amazing what we can do with it.
So the rumor is that by the time NetRef 2022 becomes official, that Linda Foster will be president of NSPS. Is that right?
If the timeline stays consistent with what we're being told, I think you are correct.
So perhaps this is just an idea that came up because you generated the idea in my mind. Have you thought about maybe creating a database that's more like, what they used to call a wiki? I don't know if they still use that term, but kind of FAQs, but that's indexed in such a way that a surveyor is trying to get something done and they don't know this particular term, this particular concept, that they can easily find it instead of just typing it into a search engine and getting 2 million results.
Well, that scares me when you mention wiki, because what comes to my mind is Chat GPT. And we all know that that's a whole different conversation here. But yeah, at the end of the day, absolutely, our professional societies we're working together with the NGS to do exactly what you're describing, whether it's database oriented. I'm sure there will be some of that, whether maybe it's a one pager. Some people are comfortable having I just want you to boil it down to what are the key things I need to know right now. So we're looking at developing those FAQ type one-page sheets that people can take a quick look through. We're already hearing a cadence of consistent questions, and so we're able to start formulating what's at the top of people's minds, and we'll adjust as time goes by. We're in the exploratory stage, I would say, right now, of people just thinking about it and starting to realize what's coming. And then we'll go into a new phase when everyone's in the field and starting to apply it. That will change the dynamic and the questions and the experience that everyone has using it. And so we'll probably have another round of FAQs and resources and things to help. Right now we're going through procedural things like, are your state statutes up to date? Because many state statutes incorporate our existing datums and references such. Also, the deprecation of the U.S. survey foot. So there's some housekeeping going on there. So we're in that preparatory phase, exploratory phase. We've worked together with the NGS on helping those states through model legislation and getting those things in order. So it'll be, I think, 2 or 3 iterations, maybe 4, we'll see, of what are the needs next. Where do people need help?
Well, thank you so much for sharing about these changes. I'm going to say challenges that are coming up. Opportunities. There you go. And I just want to say, I want to try and wrap up our conversation, but you may have left something that you wanted to say unsaid, so I'm going to give you the last opportunity here.
Well, thank you. I just want to say thank you for having me. As a practitioner myself for nearly 20 years in the geospatial realm as a whole, I'm extraordinarily excited about this. It's an amazing time to be a surveyor, to be a GIS practitioner, to be a photogrammetrist, to be working in the geospatial realm, as I'll reference it here, because we can do some amazing work together in the next couple of decades, and this is only just the beginning. And so don't be afraid. There's people out there. We all have our networks. We have our friends. We have our folks that can help us along the way. You're not in this alone. There's many resources. There will be many more. And if you're stuck or a little bit afraid of what's coming, come find us. We'll help you out. We'll get you on your way.
Thank you so much for spending time with us, Linda Foster.